I keep the time. Here we have the Snow Peak 900, and inside it, the BushBuddy pot stand, a little mini atomic alcohol stove, and the BushBuddy Wood Stove with nothing in it. Today's task is to show you how you can eliminate this. Don't know why you'd want it. It's a wonderful stove. We use this mini atomic in the BushBuddy because the BushBuddy improves the performance of the alcohol stove, serves as a windscreen. Just works really well. But I want to show you how you can just chuck it and do without it. So, to do that, we don't need the pot stand, we don't need the mini atomic, so we'll put them aside. We're left with Snow Peak 900 and the lid. Now you can see, if you try to use it that way, the Snow Peak just seals off the top of the BushBuddy. So what we're going to do is use various things. What we did was we used various things to try to get the gap just right, so we could just dump an ounce of alcohol in there, set it alight, put the Snow Peak 900 on top of the BushBuddy, and we'd be all set. Now there you have two steel rods, each about 3 millimeters, and that works. But that's about as much as you want. You don't want quite that much. Here's the various things you can use. You want something about the thickness of a dime. The dime is a little over 1 millimeter. You want something, ideally you want something 2 or 2.5 millimeters. A hacksaw blade works. Two of them don't quite work because they're only 1 millimeter thick, so what you do is you stack a piece on each, see? And you'd put them right there. There you have about the right gap, 2.5 millimeters. Now, I've also found that this little file, this Coleman camp knife, they're both about 2 or 2.5 millimeters. So they work well. They just don't look as good. So you can use things you have at hand. Like this wrench over here, it would probably do well. But what I found is that 2 hex wrenches, just 2 little hex wrenches, you can actually get them in the right size. They won't roll. And they put it right at 2.1 millimeters gap between the BushBuddy and the Snow Peak 900. And that's what you want. Now let's see this thing in action. So here we have 2 cups of water, 1 ounce of alcohol, a striker, a BushBuddy with 2 hex wrenches set up as the pot stand. By the way, remember we tossed the mini atomic, that's about 14 grams. We added these 2 hex wrenches, and together they're about 7 grams. So it's a little gain. So this is fun because all you do is just squirt the alcohol right in the bottom of the stove. nothing to it really. Okay. And it's fun to light. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. Oh, it's fun to light. Yes, sir. And we put this pot right on it. And I keep the time. The time is 19:23:45. So let's call it 19:23:30. And there you can see. Why don't I turn these lights out for you so you can see? Okay. Just go hit the switch. You keep an eye on that. What I want you to see is that if you peek in there, kind of hard to see on this view, but down below, the gratings are getting cherry red. Behind the pot, the flame is starting to climb up the back of the pot. Okay, so what's happening is the upper burners are starting to engage. And when they do that, they send the flame out around the pot. It kind of wreathes the pot. So just a 2.5 millimeter gap. There's a good view. You can see those upper burners engaging. And look down in there and see that lower burners engaged. So we got a flame down in the bottom, and we got a flame up top, and we got flame climbing up the sides of the pot. Now, I'm going to turn the lights back on because this is kind of dark. And we'll see how long it takes to boil. So what I found is that if you don't have flame wreathing the pot like this, it doesn't quite reach a boil. If the pot chokes off the flame enough that the flame stays down inside the BushBuddy, then it won't quite get hot enough. Flame is favoring the back side a bit. Oh, and it's starting to boil in there. I can hear it. 4 minutes and it's boiling. And right about that time, you see the flame start to falter. Here we got plenty of boil. And it just dies right out because the alcohol is finished. So at 4:30, it's a rolling boil. At 5 minutes, the ounce is gone. The BushBuddy as an alcohol stove.
I kept the time.